Yeah, it's a good look. Hello everybody, I am Miss Monmon and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to all those who have liked, commented and subscribed so far. I'm really happy you're here for the journey of pin-up, glamour and tomfoolery. I recently got back from Brisbane and I managed to find a little bit of time to do some shopping, and oh boy did I do some damage. So today we're going to do a Brisbane vintage shopping haul. Now Brisbane is an absolutely beautiful city and it is full of tiny little vintage arcades, which I love. Some of them are in Art Deco style, some are a little bit more colonial, but there's a myriad of really gorgeous little boutiques. One of them was Belle Folly, and from Belle Folly I managed to pick up 3 vintage inspired hats. The first was this little beauty, which is a little bit Robin Hood inspired. I really can't wait to wear this in winter, it's so fabulous. Next is this purple little number with these really gorgeous pansies and blackberries on it. Now this is all using vintage millinery accessories and ribbons, but I believe that the bases are modern. Sorry if that is incorrect, Belle Folly, but they're beautiful anyway. And third was this gorgeous little maroon hat with these beautiful like vintage wings on them. I love the maroon colour. I've got a really beautiful coat and I can't wait to pair them up. If you're ever in Brisbane and you love a little bit of vintage and antique shopping, I highly recommend the Camp Hill Antique Centre and Tart Cafe. This building used to be an old cinema and now at the front is a really gorgeous little cafe which are famous for their tarts. I highly recommend them, they're delicious. And I love going there early morning, grabbing a cup of tea, having some breakfast, and then entering the back of the shop, which is just a huge warehouse full of antiques, vintage, beautiful little collectible things and everything a vintage lover would ever need. The space is divided into tiny little sublets, so you can just wander through and have a peruse and see what tickles your fancy. There are some really gorgeous finds. I was spoiled for choice and I managed to pick up a few little treasures. In particular, one of the stalls, which I believe was called Remember When, was full of really beautiful pin-up treasures. I managed to find this, which is a gorgeous 1960s, I think, 1960s, sleek negligee, and it came with the matching cape over the top. I can't wait to do a photo shoot in this. I've also been watching a lot of Mrs. Maisel and she always walks around her apartment in these, and now that I've got one, I'm so excited. I also managed to pick up this gorgeous little vintage dress. It reminded me of one of my pin-up friends, so I absolutely loved it. It's bright pink, it has a really gorgeous little accoutrement right there and some gold beading. This is going to be perfect in the last few days of the Australian heat. In the same store, I also found this really gorgeous 1950s cotton dress. It's a little bit reminding me of tennis scarves, and I believe that the Perth Pinup Girls are going lawn bowling, so this is the one I will be wearing. The last item of clothing I picked up from Remember When was this gorgeous little dress. It is a muted dusty lilac, almost the grey pinky tinge, and it has this really beautiful lacing at the front. I loved it. It also has a tiny little bit of sparkle and I love me some sparkles. So this was another beautiful find from the store. Also from the Remember When store, I found this. Whew, this nearly tipped me over my luggage limit, but I was just under by 100 grams. So thank you Virgin Australia. But this is a vintage hair drying curling set. I don't know exactly what era it is. I want to say the 70s, but it has everything in it, including all the hose extensions, the little cap that you would attach your hairdryer to. All the little buttons are still working. I believe this has a nail drying kit in it, and you can blow dry and brush your hair at the same time. I really can't wait to give this a go. I have been wanting one of these little hair drying devices for quite a while, so now I have a vintage one, which is super exciting. So maybe I will buy a modern one and see how I feel, but I'm going to look like a right idiot. Yeah, it's a good look. Somebody call Vogue. From another area of the Camp Hill Antique Centre, I found a store that was selling vintage prints and advertisements, and I picked up these two. Both of these are vintage Singer adverts, and I really want to put them up in my future sewing room. I'm in the midst of planning to buy my own house and move, and I really want a sewing room so I can craft and maybe film and blog about that too. So these ones will go up on the wall when I am ready, and they are so beautiful. In another part of the warehouse, I managed to pick up this darling little charming fellow, a robin pin cushion. It is made out of silver with a beautiful red velvet back cushion, and I plan to have my hat pins popping out of him in the most gentle way possible, of course, and I thought he was so adorable and had such a charming little face, I had to take him home with me. The last item I picked up from Camp Hill were these. This is a mini vintage vanity set, including a compact powder case and a lipstick holder. They have this really beautiful velvet rose encased under what I believe is just a glass, with maybe perhaps resin inside it, but they were just so beautiful. I couldn't leave them, and they were an absolute bargain. So that's what I picked up from Camp Hill. My next stop was Paddington, and I absolutely love the Paddington area. I went to Empire Revival and I picked up this gorgeous little hat. I absolutely love pansies. They remind me of my grandmother, as that's what she had going on her balcony. So I snapped it up straight away. They are beautifully still colored, they are not faded. They reminded me of the ladies' old Easter parade outfits, and I'm really looking forward to wearing it over the Easter break. This is probably one of my favorite items I found whilst perusing all the antique shops, and I'm really glad I picked it up for an absolute bargain price. I also went to the shop Swap, and I believe they have 2 or 3 scattered around the CBD, and in one of them I found another vintage negligee set, but this time it was in yellow. So now I have 3 in total. I am fulfilled and I am so glad. This one also came with the matching over the top wrap. I am going to live out all my Mrs. Maisel fantasies and strung around the house with this and make my morning cup of tea. My last stop in Paddington was Retro Metro. The owner, Colin, is an absolute gem. He really loves his vintage and he's very passionate about it. So I managed to pick up some absolute gorgeous things, including this pink dress. It has a very full skirt and it is a gorgeous dusty pink colour. I can't wait to wear this when it's date night next. I am so excited. I also managed to pick up a 1950s prom dress because you can never have too many prom dresses. I would like some more occasions to wear them, but that is the struggle us pin-up girls must face. Isn't it beautiful? It is so gorgeous. I love it so much. It is a full cupcake skirt with lacing and it is a gorgeous lilac colour. She does need a little bit of a fix up. Some of her lace has ripped, so I'm hopefully going to fix that up. She has these gorgeous little pearl buttons on it, a gorgeous little side zip. I love her straps. One of them is broken, but that is okay. She will be fixed and I can't wait to wear this next time. I'm going to need someone to take me to a fancy restaurant just so I can live out my fantasies. If you follow me on the Instagrams, you have already seen this dress, but this is another one I picked up from Metro Retro. It is a gorgeous blue silk chiffon. I don't think it's chiffon, but that's the only word coming to my head. Day dress with a pleated skirt, really lovely little lace inlays as well, and it's got a really cute wrap that ties up at the front. The last 2 items I picked up were 2 vintage home journal magazines. And this one still had its original pattern, which hadn't even been opened yet. I really love old vintage journals. I like seeing how far our advertisements have come and all the styles and just seeing all the cute little stories and tips for a 1950s woman. And that is it for my Brisbane vintage shopping haul. There is quite a lot here. In my head, spending a couple of days walking around the shops, getting caught in the rain, it felt like a lot more, but I'm really happy with what I found. I know I've got some really beautiful gems in here and I can't wait to film and photograph them as I carry on through my vintage journey. So once again, thank you so much for watching my channel. I will be back next week with another video and I can't wait to have you along. You can find my blog below with information about all the shops that I visited if you plan to do your own Brisbane shopping vintage trip. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and hanging out on this YouTube channel of mine. I love you so much. All the best. See you next time.